Okay, so now that we have seen how one can cool helium gas down to very low temperatures and cool it below its inversion temperature and then take it down to further low temperatures such that the molecules come very close together and undergo a liquefaction. The temperature at which helium converts from a liquid to a gas, that temperature, which is the boiling point of helium, is about 4.2 Kelvin. For helium it is 4.2 Kelvin for helium. So what you can do is that you can maintain helium at 4.2 Kelvin, and if you put a sample on this container, this is your sample, very soon it will reach 4.2 Kelvin. And so you can do temperatures from 4.2 Kelvin up to whatever you want, up to whatever higher temperatures you want. So you can in principle go down to temperatures as low as 4.2 Kelvin. Now let us look at other technologies. What are the other modern technologies which are actually available, and what are the techniques, modern techniques, by which one can go down to even lower temperatures, as low as few microkelvins also. So that will be our next few lectures. I will not get into too many details, but I will give you the general principles of these low temperature techniques. So the first amongst those techniques is evaporative cooling. So let us look at evaporative cooling. So what is evaporative cooling? In evaporative cooling, so if you have a liquid, say helium 4 or any liquid for that matter, above the liquid there are the higher energy molecules which have left from the surface of the liquid, which are on top of the surface of the liquid. This is called as the vapor pressure. They lead to the vapor pressure of the liquid. The highly energetic molecules which are present, namely the ones which are at relatively high energy and relatively high kinetic energy, they leave from the surface of the liquid, and these molecules constitute the vapor pressure above the liquid. So these, typically what you do is that you pump out these molecules. So these molecules are taken out from the liquid and they do not have a chance to re-enter back into the liquid. So as a result, the high kinetic energy molecules are all taken out by the pump of the system. So they are all pumped out, and as a result these high kinetic energy molecules never return back to the liquid. So as a result, you are reducing the temperature of the liquid as the high kinetic energy molecules are being taken out of the liquid, They do not have a chance to return back into the liquid, and this is the method of evaporative cooling. This is how you actually cool, for example, your cup of tea. The high kinetic energy molecules of tea, which are of the liquid of tea, which are on the surface, you blow over the surface and you actually take them out so that they do not have a chance to go back into the liquid. And when you blow over the surface and you take them out, that is when you start cooling down the cup of tea or liquid. And in the same way, helium 4 can also be pumped over. You can take helium 4 at 4.2 Kelvin. So you can take helium 4 liquid at 4.2 Kelvin, and you can keep on pumping over this liquid and bring down the temperature of the liquid. So you can go from 4.2 Kelvin down to about 1 Kelvin by just means of pumping and evaporative cooling. Now, how far can this process continue? This process can continue until you have taken away most of the molecules above the surface, and there are very few molecules left. And so as a result, beyond that point, you cannot really pump it any further. So you can actually reduce down the vapor pressure over the liquid to a point that there is no further or no substantial amount of molecules present on the surface to pump out of, and as a result you cannot cool the system any further. So this is the process of evaporative cooling, and in this process of evaporative cooling the limit is set by the vapor pressure. Namely, say if you look at it for helium-4, the vapor pressure as a function of temperature, namely what is the pressure of the molecules which are above the surface of the liquid, this vapor pressure actually goes to almost zero by around 1 Kelvin. At a temperature of around 1 Kelvin, the vapor pressure is almost zero of the liquid. So you can cool it down to about 1 Kelvin. So by pumping over helium-4, if you pump over helium-4, then you can bring down the temperature of the liquid down to about 1 Kelvin. And then you can put your sample out here and you can bring this sample also to 1 Kelvin. So from 4.2 Kelvin, you can bring it down to 1 Kelvin by just pumping over the same liquid. And this is the method of evaporative cooling. It's a very, very important and essential method of cooling to reach to low temperatures. However, it will just allow you to reach somewhere close to 1 Kelvin and no further. This allows you to reach only about 1 Kelvin. Now, helium has two isotopes. One is of course helium-4, which has 2 protons and 2 neutrons, and it is essentially a boson. And there is helium-3, which has 2 protons and 1 neutron, which is a fermion. Being a helium-4 being a bosonic system, it can undergo a condensation into the superfluid state, which is a bosonic condensation, in which the superfluid becomes viscosity free. That is the superfluid transition of helium-4. Helium-3 on the other hand is a fermion, and it has properties which are slightly different from helium-4. Helium-3 is the gas. If you collect helium-3, then helium-3 has a much higher vapor pressure compared to helium-4. At any given temperature, if you compare the vapor pressures of helium-3 and helium-4, then helium-4 has a much lower vapor pressure as compared to helium-3, which means if you take liquid helium-3 and if you look at the surface of helium-3, it will have much more number of molecules on the surface compared to helium-4, much more number of particles, because its vapor pressure is much higher. And because its vapor pressure is much higher, you can pump over the liquid down to much lower temperatures compared to helium-4. So with helium-3, you can actually, because its vapor pressure is higher, helium-3 vapor pressure is higher than helium-4, is higher compared to helium-4. So you can actually bring it down to around 0.25 Kelvin. So if you take a liquid of helium-3 and you pump over it, you can bring it down to 0.25 Kelvin. Whereas helium 4, you could have brought it down to 1 Kelvin. Helium 3, by evaporative cooling, you can bring it down to 0.25 Kelvin. However, we want to go lower in temperature. How does one do that? So we now come to the principle of dilution refrigeration, where you can go down to very low temperatures, typically of the order of few millikelvin.